Hey squad, we are back again with Wifey Takeover. So this is episode number 3 of LAYTON, Professor Layton and the Curious Village. If you haven't watched the last 2 episodes, I recommend going back and watching those first, because otherwise this is not going to make any sense. As previously discussed, Malachi is still away overseas and will be back in the middle of September. So until then, we are going to just be hanging out just with me for now. So we'll get some exciting new stuff when Malachi gets back. In the meantime, we are stuck into Professor Layton and we are about to find out what happened with this murder that's just happened. So yeah, we'll just get straight into it. Hopefully I can remember how I did their voices. They're all terrible. Matthew, did you notice any strange characters around the manor at the time of the incident? Not a soul, I'm afraid. I didn't even know about Master Simon to Inspector Chelme. I gotta get that right. Chelme. Showed up. And where is Simon's body now? Sounds like he's the detective, not the... I didn't see it, but I was told that the inspector carried the body out shortly after arriving. I see. Well, it looks like for the moment we are without a lead on this case. But did you know, I found this in the room where Master Simon's body was discovered. Why are you not telling this to the actual inspector, not this guy? What is this? I'm sorry to say I have no idea, but I thought it might be a clue, so I made sure to hold on to it, instead of leaving it where it was in a crime scene. Amazing! It's a cog so small that one could search the room and miss it. And look, it has an engraving. Cool. So we found the cat, so we did that, and now we've got a cog mystery. A small cog. Now that you mention it, I know a puzzle about an object that will almost fits that description. Sorry, my reading's a bit off. What? Are you joking? A puzzle at a time like this? Luke, you are the only one who is actually making any sense. 28. Find the dot. You're holding an 8-pointed shape with a red dot on it. If you hold the shape so that the red dot is in the position shown on diagram A and then flip it over, you'll see the black dot as depicted below. Oh, okay. Now assume you're holding a shape as shown on the left side of the diagram B. Where will the black dot be if you flip the shape over? Oh, okay. So basically it is 2 spokes left or anti-clockwise of the red dot. Yeah, it's gap 1. So it's this one.
There we go.
What? Okay, obviously I didn't study that correctly.
I'm ashamed.
You're ashamed. He's ashamed of me. It would be here. Because if the red dot is here when you flip it over, whether you flip it or not, when you flip it over, it's here. And then it's 2 spokes from there. When you flip this one over, it is here. So 2 in front of it is here. Let's see.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
It is. The critical thinking is the key. That is the whole point of this. Yeah. I was right with the 2 spokes. I was just not thinking about what happened when it actually flipped it in comparison. My apologies, but I'm afraid I don't know anything that would aid your investigation. It's not his investigation. It's the inspector's. Not at all. This small cog is more than enough for us to go on now. But I do wonder why you're giving this to us. I believe you are a good gentleman, Professor. I'm confident you'll be pieced together this puzzle. I appreciate the vote of confidence, Matthew. I really don't have the right voice for Matthew, but I have too many people to do. We've got another Gizmo. Oh look, he's here. I might as well talk to him. We'll keep the story progressing. Okay. I still haven't got a voice for this guy. Oh. Is this everyone who was present at the scene of the crime? I believe we're missing Raymond, sir. Raymond? Where is he, and what on earth is he doing? Matthew, fetch Raymond at once. To be honest, my lady, thinking about it, I've not seen Raymond for a few hours now. What? Don't tell me he was murdered as well, because that's the conclusion. That if someone is missing from a murder investigation, he must be murdered as well. No, it couldn't be that. He could be the murderer. No, hold on a moment. He's a suspect. Oh, okay, good, yeah. Perhaps he fled the scene of the crime. Where could he be at a time like this? What if the murderer got Raymond too? Oh, this guy had a weird voice to me. Imagine a murder in this very house. It brings a chill to my spine, it does. You're a detective, are you not? Do hurry and find the monster that did this. Exactly. My good sir, I am not a detective. I am no detective, I agree, but with your concerns are certainly warranted. No one is safe until the criminal is behind bars. My sentiment exactly. I don't understand it. Simon could be snide. No, you're not. But he wasn't the type to be hated. If the criminal was after my brother's fortune, I could very well be the fiend's next target. You have a point. If we narrow the motive to stealing the Reinhold fortune, there are a few potential suspects. Good gracious. You don't think I'd do something like this? Like this now? Simon and I got along very well. I'll have you know, he wasn't very close to Augustus, though. You know, all this talk of families has me contemplating a puzzle I once heard. 6 brothers have gathered around a table to eat dinner. Let's call them brothers 1 to 6, with the 1 being the eldest and 6 being the youngest. Each of the brothers is prone to fighting with his siblings directly above and below him in age and can't be seated next to either of them. Also, brothers 3 and 5 got into an argument the other day and refused to sit next to each other. Brother 1 has already sat down. Can you find a seating arrangement for the others that will keep everyone from bickering? So, can brother 1 sit next to brother 6? Okay, above and below him. Don't know. Okay. So, 3 and 5 can't sit next to each other, but neither can 4 and 5 or 5 and 6. So it has to be 2 and 5 have to sit next to each other. Number 1 and number 2 can't sit next to each other, but maybe number 5. Number 5 and number 1 can. Number 2 can. So then it would be 2 can. Number 3 can't sit next to number 2. Number 4 and 3 can't sit next to each other. So it means that 3 and 4 have to be separated by 6. So 3 and 2 can't sit next to it. So it has to be 4 and 3. Does that make sense? Do you think I did that right? So 1 and 5 are not the same and not sequential. 1 and 3 are not sequential. 5 and 2 aren't either. 2 and 4 aren't. 4 and 6 aren't. 6 and 3 aren't. And 3 and 5 are not sitting next to each other either. Surely that would be the...
That should do it.
Yay! Awesome. Okay. So that one wasn't difficult. The mirror image of this seating arrangement would also be a valid answer, yeah. Yes, so that's the answer. Thank you for clearing up that puzzle. We are still no closer to finding Simon's killer. Oh my god, you thought that would actually help? I assure you, I had nothing to do with it, so please go out and find the real murderer. Because having a puzzle that you can't solve is definitely cluey that you are not a murderer. Of course, I understand your position. It appears that I am a suspect too. I'll find. So why are you allowed to... Okay, we're getting a lot of strange gizmos. Maybe I'm going to check out what these gizmos are. Okay, let's do that. We've got a lot of things in here I haven't looked at, but I'm actually more interested in the gizmos. This is part of it I don't remember. The gizmos you've gathered around Saint Mystery are all lined up on the touch screen. Tap one to snap into place. Okay. Okay. So we're constructing. It's a secret, but it looks like the shape of a robot dog. We're gonna have a robot dog. Okay, I'm missing a lot of parts. Even though we've collected a lot, I'm missing a lot. Yeah, all this stuff doesn't really matter. But I want a robot dog now. Okay. We're gonna talk to you again, or we're gonna leave? Hey, where did Lady Dahlia go? I believe my lady has retired to the adjoining room next to relax on her own. She's a strong woman, but only natural that she'll need to rest after a terrible event like this. Very well then, would you please let her know that we have something I'd like to talk to her about? But of course, Professor, please wait here. Lady Dahlia might act like an ice queen, but I guess even she was shaken by today's events. Luke, if you ever wish to become a true gentleman, you need to start showing a little more sensitivity. He's what, 7? No, he's probably about 10 or something. Oh, of course, Professor. I apologize. That was wrong of me. My lady will see you now. Just head through the back of the doorway on the left. Cool. Okay, so we did need to talk to him. Awesome. Lady Dahlia, I have a deep suspicion this murder was connected to the mystery of the golden apple. Finally, we're actually going to talk about the inheritance. What? It's too early to say for sure, but I think that's highly probable when the two matters are linked. And you think that Raymond is somehow involved in all of this? Potentially, yes. However, as of yet, we don't have enough information to draw any solid conclusions. I see. If that's the case, I have a request for you, Professor. Find Raymond and bring him here back to me. It sickens me that I'm being considered a suspect in this brutal crime. I must prove my innocence at once. As you wish, Lady Dahlia. We will ask around the villages to see what we can find. I appreciate your help, Professor. Well then, I'll be awaiting the good news in the parlour. I don't like her. So now we're up to chapter 3. Okay, so there's a bit of a gap between the end of chapter 2 and chapter 3, or the end of the chapter and then the next chapter. Look at this picture. What is it, Professor? Oh, isn't it Lady Dahlia? She's holding a baby. That baby must be Baron Reinhold's daughter then. Flora was her name, wasn't it? Oh gosh, what a cute baby. Lady Dahlia hasn't changed much, has she? She looks completely different in the photograph. She doesn't look like a complete, total, raging idiot. You know, Luke, they say true beauty never ages. I suppose so, Professor. But even so, it makes me wonder, maybe we can ask Lady Dahlia about it. So should we? Or should we go and try and find Raymond? Might have something to do with the investigation. By the way, Mr. Layton, I hear you're something of a puzzle connoisseur. He's gonna give me a puzzle. I know that's the whole point of the game, but I like the storyline. This puzzle was popular in London when I left. I wonder if you've what it takes to solve it. Sorry, my voice is not working for him. No. 5 suspects are called into the police headquarters for questioning. Is this guy just trying to give me a crime that he can't solve, that I have to solve for him? Is that the whole point of this? Okay. A, they have the following statements. A, 1 of the 5 of us is lying. B, 2 of the 5 of us are lying. C, I know these guys and 3 of the 5 of us are lying. Don't listen to a word they say. Out of the 5 of us, 4 are lying. All 5 of us are dirty, rotten lies. The police only want to release the suspects who are telling the truth. How many people should they let go? Okay. And if this was a real crime and the suspects were acting like this and saying these sort of things, there would be an issue. They would all be jailed. One of the 5 of us is lying. There's no possible way that all of them can tell the truth because one of the 5 is lying means that one of these people are lying. But that also means then that both E, like say E and B have to be correct, which can't be. So it means that D is the only person who can be telling the truth because every single one of them is saying a different amount of people are lying except for D, because then D is the only person telling the truth and the rest of them are lying. So it has to be one. So the police only want to release the suspects who are telling the truth. How many people should they let go? 1. Not who the person is. Just 1.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, it just required a lot of logical thinking. That's right, every suspect accused a different number of people. If anyone was telling the truth, it had to be 1 suspect, no more, no less. The only suspect whose statement fits the condition is D. Yeah, cool. Know what I'm doing. Sort of. I won't tell you how long it took me to actually set up this recording. You would be shocked. I suppose I should have given you a tougher puzzle to solve. You'd do best to find that brain of yours and find that golden apple everyone's a buzz about. I got an old strange gizmo for my robot dog. Find Raymond. Okay. Pardon me, but we happened to put an adorable picture of you and your daughter Flora a moment ago. Because he was snooping. I beg your pardon? The picture of you holding a baby, the one in the next room. I'm sorry, but you must be mistaken. I've never had any children. Huh? My apologies, madam. I must have been mistaken. Well, it didn't look like her. Look at her now. At any rate, time is of the essence here. Go and find Raymond and bring him back, would you? If that's not Lady Dahlia in the photograph, then who on earth could it be? I think we'd better ask the butler a few questions. Perhaps he can clear this up for us? Okay. Go, go, go. We need to find Raymond. But we should ask the butler. Matthew, do you have a moment? Certainly, sir. How can I help you? It's about the picture of Lady Dahlia upstairs, the one of her holding a small child. Ah, yes, about that old picture. It's not Lady Dahlia, I'm afraid. It's the picture of Baron Reinhold's former wife, Lady Viola. See, I told you it wasn't her. But I certainly understand why you would mistake one for the other. They were virtually identical at their appearance, their gestures, even the way that they moved. So the photo isn't of Lady Dahlia, but of an earlier wife of the Baron? Wow, imagine finding someone who looks that much like you. What are the odds? They're twins. There's a chance the two were relatives of one another? I've never heard anything to suggest as much, sir. They're robots then. It just happened one day. The Baron arrived home and his type was Lady Dahlia. I'm sorry to say that's all I really know about the matter. Not at all. You've been most helpful. Thank you, Matthew. How odd. The more I hear, the stranger the whole affair starts to sound. The more we're getting into this, I've played this twice a very long time ago, basically after they came out, and I can't remember. I remember some tiny little bits, but I really can't remember the storyline at all. So at least it's going to be like a surprise for the both of us, unless you've played this game recently. Hello, kitty cat. What do you got? Oh, you've got his glasses. Uh-oh. Meow. Oh no. These are Simon's glasses. But how on earth did they end up here? This could be a crucial clue in the investigation. I think it's best if we took those to Inspector Chelmy. I'm not going to get that right. Chelmy. What's the matter, Mr. Layton? Inspector... Oh. Inspector, take a look at these. These glasses belong to Simon. We found them out in the garden. What the... I imagine they simply fell off the body when it was being carried out of the village. Hang on. It was being carried out of the village. How have they left the village? I thought the crank had been taken. The inspector's in on it. Besides, if you have enough time to manage the village lost and found, shouldn't you be searching for the Reinhold inheritance or whatever it is you're supposed to be doing? Of course, if you continue to interrupt my investigation, I'll have some ideas about what you can do. My sincerest apologies, Inspector. I don't like that Chelmy one bit. He reeks of smoke and he's so full of himself, and the way he treats you, Professor, is just too much. Luke, my boy, pay it no heed. Right now we have other priorities. Let's go and ask around and find Raymond, not Simon. Although I'd like to know where they put him. Look at her finger pointing, just like that. That is a boat. Look at you, fretting away there. Whatever is the matter? Sorry to trouble you, but have you seen Raymond around here today? He was here just a while ago. No, I can't say I've seen him today, which is strange, considering how often he sneaks off the job. But enough of that. Puzzle time. I hear you're quite an ace with puzzles. Would you mind helping me out with a puzzle I've been mulling over? Oh, right now we're sort of in the middle of something, but if you insist. Okay. You heard of one-line puzzle? The idea is to place your pen on paper and draw the shape without lifting a pen from the paper, blah blah blah. However, you can cross lines. Now you're familiar with the concept. I already know the concept. Look at the 4 pictures below. One of them cannot be drawn with one line. Okay, well, let's try drawing them with one line. I reckon it's this one. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I reckon it's that one.
That should do
We'll
it.
see. It's either that one or the house. Oh, okay, maybe it's the house then.
Ah, I suppose I thought wrong.
Yeah, I did. It's the house. Because the others can definitely be done. So, I know you could do like those
Here's
weird
my
crossover
answer.
diagonal things. There we go, yeah. It just must be because it's 3D.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
Yes, it is. Ooh. There's actually a very easy way to tell whether or not a given picture has been drawn in one straight midst of you both. Okay. Cool. That's some fine work there. I was stuck on this puzzle for I don't know how long. Ah, you there, boy. I just had a terrible vision of you running into trouble tonight. Oh, so she's a seer, is she? So be careful out there, alright? Well, that was a welcome piece of news. But don't worry about me, because I don't get scared easily. I got another Gizmo. I wonder if his name's going to be Gizmo. I'm going to call him Gizmo. Let's have a look at Gizmos. We're getting there. We're going to have a robot dog. Okay, what else can we do? Also, there was a woman's hat in that. Ah, he's going to talk to us. Oh, what was his voice? Hey, you two. What are you up to? Let me in on the secret. Ah, I got it. Don't tell me. I told you I got it. Out searching for someone, eh? Huh? No, not eh. Out searching for someone, huh? Looking for info, yeah? But sorry, I haven't seen your man. Are you sure you didn't see or hear anything that might help us? No, I've got nothing for you. Stop asking me about it. I see. Well, in any case, thank you for your time. Oh, yeah, and good luck with your silly search. 2 silly men on a silly search, right? But definitely do not go poking around the tower on the north side of the village. Understand? The tower on the north side of the village? How do you even get to that part of the village? Do you remember the clock tower in the square? I believe we must pass through it to get to the north side of the village. Let's go check it out. Oh, we're going to go to the clock tower. I still haven't worked out what I'm doing with that. That's the clock tower you were talking about, right, Professor? Yes, quite right. Someone's standing in front of the entrance. Oh, it's this guy. Hey there. You've been pretty busy solving puzzles, yeah? If you want to pass through here, you're gonna need to have solved at least 12 puzzles first. See, this is what I'm talking about. This, when it makes you... I mean, there's certain puzzles you have to do. Like that guy jumps up and goes like... You physically can't move out of the space until you've talked to them. And sometimes it's puzzles, but yeah. Basically, it just forces you to slow down your gameplay. But it looks like you've already done that, Well, I guess I just lied to you then. Am I putting on a southern accent? I don't even know what his voice was before, and it's only been a couple of hours. If you really want to pass through here, you're also gonna have to solve one more puzzle. There you go. Puzzle 35, strange dot. Dice look normal enough, but if you look carefully, there's a pattern. You know the following. 096. So what does D correspond to? Okay. So possibly positions. It's a clock. That's 0. That's 9 o'clock. That's 6 o'clock. So that's 3 o'clock. It's a 3. Okay. Yep. Should have seen that. It's 3.
Luke, here's my answer.
Yeah, there we go. So I do need the hint sometimes.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
Yes, I know, Layton. I get it. Way to go. You've earned it. Yeah, you've earned it, sir. So come on through. Are you still after that scary cat? We're looking for one of the Ryan Hold's employees now. He's a man of the name of Raymond. You haven't seen him about, have you? Raymond, eh? Yeah. I think I might have. Oh, gosh. Where'd I see him? Maybe you're better off asking somewhere else. Ask Lucy. She's standing under the clock tower. Now the Gizmo. Ooh, cutscene. Oh, tiny one. I thought it was going to be a proper cutscene. We can finally pass through the clock tower to the north side of the village. How exciting! I can't wait to see what's in store for us there. Aww, look at her. She's cute. What you doing? I can tell you want to ask me something, but would you mind solving a puzzle first? Sure, Lucy. My little brother and I came up with this one together. She won't let you through. She is the keeper of the alleyway. Okay, a boy and sister are sitting around the kitchen table chatting. You notice this. If I took away 2 years from my age and gave them to you, you'd be twice my age, huh? Why don't you give me one more on top of that and then be 3 times your age? How old is each sibling? Okay, well, we're going to start with like a basic of like 4. If I took away 2 years from my age and gave them to you... Actually, no, we'll start with 6. If I took 2 years away from my age, he would be 4. You'd be twice my age, so she would be 8. Why don't you give me one more on top of that, and I'd be 3 times your age, so that'd make him 3 and make 9. Ah, I guess that straight away. Look at that. How old is each sibling? They're both 6. They're twins. How old is each sibling? 6? Oops, not 66. 6. 6. They're twins or they're born.
That
So I
should
can't.
do it.
No, it could be half brother and sister.
Every puzzle has an answer.
Yep, that's basically what we did. Cool. Was that too easy for you? Oh well. Hey, you know the guy from the mansion, Raymond? He may look sedate, but my, does he, what? He may look sedate, but my, oh, does he like the nightlife? He's friends with that party animal, Jarvis. Jarvis? I don't believe I know the man. Where may I find him? Well, you see, Jarvis isn't the type to place much value in being gainfully employed. At this time of day, he's probably lazing about those steps to the north. Just head up north and you hit the fork in the road and take the path to the right. Okay, I have to go now. Let's play again later, okay? More gizmos. Okay, so she acts way too old for her age. Yucky cat. Look at the cat, Professor. It's not Claudia, is it? No, of course it's not. It's a different cat. Yes, it's an alley cat. And judging by the way he's bullying that poor mouse, a rather mean one at that. Ah, there's another puzzle. Ah, yes, Luke. Speaking of mice, have you heard this one before? Too many mice. Mice are famous for their ability to multiply at breakneck speeds. The type of mouse we have here gives birth once a month, birthing 12 babies each time. Baby mice mature, they can give birth 2 months after they are born. You picked up one of these darling baby mice at the pet shop and brought it home the day after it was born. In 10 months from now, how many mice will you have? 1. Because you need 2 to breed. You have 1. Is that stupid? That's not like a math riddle. That's... Yeah, okay, cool. I was just like, what do you mean? A mouse can't give babies one. Yep. Okay, some of these puzzles, yeah, it's right. Like, some of them are just super easy, and some of them are actually require you to think quite a bit. And so that's what's so confusing, is that you go from being like, yeah, that's just logical sense. Like, are you trying to trick me? And then other ones are like, yeah, that looks simple. That should be the answer. And it's like, no, actually, we're going to give you some really random, complicated reason as to why it has to be completely different. Anyway. Cool. So, we're going up to the steps. Why is she always pointing? Okay. So, I'm going to click on this guy because we haven't clicked on him yet. Zapone. Oh. Yeah, okay. I just skipped that, but... What is this? Yes, it is just as I expected. I can tell from here, sir. You have something you want to ask me, no? Don't even try to hide it, sir. It's in your eyes. And ask you may after you solve this puzzle for me. This is going to be terrible. Sorry, I apologize to all Europeans. That was probably a mixture of like 4 different things with an Australian accent mixed in. Here is an overhead view of a cluster of tropical islands. As you travel from A to B, your objective is to visit every island exactly once. The island folks say this can be accomplished with the addition of a single straight bridge. The only other rule is that your bridge can't cross over any other pre-existing bridge. So where should your bridge go? So we need to basically do that line path again and then realize where we can't go. Okay, yep, we need to go from there to there. Then we go B across, up. So across from B, we go left, up, down, 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 up, right, up to the new path, left.
That should do it.
Yep. Yay. Because it's the only spot where we would get
Critical thinking is the key
stuck.
to success.
Yeah, cool. Just as I suspected, a fellow detective. Your skills at puzzle solving are formidable, sir. Dare I say they approach my own? It's the eyes I say, they never lie. And when they do, I know. We're getting heaps of gizmos. I like him. I'm half okay doing his voice. Now, she said the right path, didn't she? Oh, hello there. Say, laddie, you haven't seen a big coin around here, have you? I'm not even going to do a Scottish accent, have you? I could have sworn I dropped this lovely one somewhere nearby. I've come quite a penny pincher. You don't suppose mine advertising... Oh my god, I think I've done like 4 different acts. Okay, I'm just reading this. My brain's gone. I've become quite a penny pincher. Don't you suppose you mind advertising me on a tiny money matter, would you? It's only a short conversation. Don't care. Sorry, I apologize to everyone who isn't... No, everyone who's listening. Oh. Rope and coins are arranged as shown below. As you pull the ends of the rope out to the left and right, the rope will draw taut and push the coins to either side. Assuming you only get to keep the coins that end up at the top half of the rope, how many coins will you have? Okay, so everyone that is on the top half of this. So that would be what are we looking at? That one. That one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was 9, not 8. I must have missed one. Because that's all empty. That's all empty. Okay, I think it was 9. I missed one.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
Yeah, see, if I could colour like that, it would have been easier. My old sharp fellow you are. Now, do not favour and help me search that coin, eh? I've got another gizmo. Okay. Oh! You look like a happy fellow. Ah, it's Jarvis. Let me tell you, lately St. Mystery has become a dangerous place. Case in point, I haven't seen Raymond since yesterday. Is that rascal missing or something? I don't know why people are disappearing, but recently they just vanish. You can't walk the streets alone. Really? Could you please elaborate a bit on what you know of these mysterious disappearances? Nope. Can't say I know particulars about the subject. There's like, what, 50 people in this village? Seems to me that the only folks vanishing were the ones complaining of feeling sick or tired. I'm sorry, I don't really remember that much about it. You probably have better luck talking with Zappon about stuff like this. I hear he's in the know about pretty much everything. Zappone, you say? Where? Ah, that's the other guy we were talking to with the curly moustache. Where might he find this person? What? You mean you didn't bump into him on the way here? He's the slouchy man with the fancy little moustache. Yeah. You know him when you see him. Wow, it's really hard to get a lead on this case. The day is far from over, Luke. Let's see what else we can find by asking around. So village disappearances was added to the list of mysteries. Look at him bouncing around. Back down to here. Yay, we get to talk to... I want to call him Pepe, and if you know who I'm talking about, that's really weird because Pepe's a dog. Well, let me give you a take on the situation. Well, is something the matter? Ah, yes, now I remember. If it isn't the rumors you're after, take a tip from a fellow detective and go ask Crouton. He owns the village restaurant. No. I like how she's just pointing. This is the person you want to talk to. Now, you're looking for the restaurant now. It's not far. Just head a little to the west of here. But before we run off again, I got a tip for you. If you want to experience all that St. Mystery has to offer, you can't just run from point A to point B. Take some time to now I'm doing it. To explore the village from top to bottom. You'll be glad you did. Much appreciated. We'll be sure to give it a try. Come, Luke, we've work to do. Yeah, I know I'm kind of going from point A to point B. I wasn't listening to him when we were talking about the restaurant. I don't know which way I'm supposed to be going. This way? Oh no. Oh. Ah! The heck was that sound? God, and you've just had it! Would someone please stop that awful racket? What's the matter, sir? Who are you calling sir? I'm a young man. But never mind that. I'm furious. That sound, that horrible noise. I can't get a wink of a sleep at night. We haven't even been here, yeah. Anyway, used to be the tower only made the noise every once in a while, but now it's been roaring non-stop. How am I supposed to sleep? You hear me? Tower, how am I supposed to sleep? Please calm yourself, sir. You have no idea. Do you have any idea what the source of that deafening din is? You know, now that you mention it, I don't have the slightest clue about it. I've heard it's the roar of a huge monster that lives in the tower, but who knows? I think everyone's got amnesia. So the noise is coming from the tower, is it? So do we go to the restaurant? Or do we try to go to the... Is this the restaurant? Ah, yes. Here we go. Gizmo. He's got... Oh, creepy eyes. Oh, there we go. He's looking more like a dog now. What are we missing? An ear. Okay, he's got a battery. So we're missing 2 legs, 2 feet. The end of his tail, possibly. Another ear. And his rump. So this is the guy we're supposed to talk to. Raymond? He hasn't been around today. Looks like we've hit another dead end. Too bad you couldn't find him. He usually sneaks out of work to come here to gossip and drink coffee. Oh, and you know, speaking of gossip, I've heard some weird rumors from my customers lately. Recently, there's been talk of some strange old man running around St. Mystery, kidnapping people. A kidnapper? Who is this old man? I heard all this secondhand, so you got me there. You need to find a better source for village gossip. You might want to try the cafe. Usually you hear rumors straight from the source there. It's almost sunset now, so the cafe should be open for dinner. Mysterious old man kidnapping village folk. Now that's a rumor. So, chapter 3, The Missing Servant. So, we have combed St. Mystery for clues about Raymond's disappearance. We have not found him. So, we missed quite a few puzzles with this one. We missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 puzzles. That's going to come back to haunt me later on. Oh, 9. Professor, it's getting dark outside. I'm afraid that's my cue to start closing up shop. Come by tomorrow if you get hungry. I thought it was a restaurant. Wouldn't the cafe be open during the day and the restaurant be open at night? Isn't that? I know that's how it works in Australia. Cafes are generally cafes because they're open like for breakfast, brunch, lunch sort of thing, and they close by like 3 or 4 o'clock, unless it's like a special one or something. And then restaurants are the ones that might be open for lunch, especially on weekends, but generally are open for dinner. And you're in the restaurant / what looks like a bar. Okay, whatever. Oh, cutscene. I'm so glad I didn't end the episode. I'm going to be silent for this bit. Oh, that was it? Oh, okay. These games do have very good cutscenes, but I think they're more towards the end. Or maybe some of the later ones. I've played a few of the later ones as well, and they have a lot more cutscenes. So I think it's maybe just because it's the first game. I really couldn't remember what this game was like, so I'm really upset because they have beautiful cutscenes. Anyway, Luke, let's take a moment to sum up our findings. This will be good. We'll do this and then we'll end the episode. We have a strange roaring tower, disappearing villagers, and an odd elderly kidnapper. It's also so bizarre. I can't make any sense of it, Professor. I think we've finally got some clues on our hands, my boy. Observing the nightlife in this village might tell us more of what we need to know. Great idea, Professor. So, chapter 4. So, night falls, it's turned dark, and Raymond still hasn't returned. Continuing the investigation, find clues. Cool. So, we're going to end the episode here. So that kind of just summarized what's happened. So we haven't progressed any further in terms of the mystery of the apple, although that is kind of the overlying mystery. So all the little mysteries will end up revealing what happens with that golden apple. We've got missing villagers, missing Raymond. Everyone's all seems to kind of know what's going on, but not really giving anything away, or they're all just a bit crazy. It might be a mixture of both, to be honest. Plan is we're going to continue doing this. Do let me know down in the comments if you want to, comment on anything, how terrible my voice acting is, how I can improve my voice acting, actually. I know it takes practice, but, is there something I should be doing that would help other than, practicing and trying to remember what voices I've given everyone. So this is the Wifey takeover. So Malachi will be back as soon as possible. In the meantime, you are stuck with me on the Wifey takeover. I hope you're enjoying it. We will continue this next episode. See you later, guys.